Welcome to Blockchain Tech and Finance with me, your host. If you're on the YouTube side, please do go ahead and subscribe and turn on the bell notifications. I have all these articles in the description box below so you can read at your own due diligence. And let's see, just going to check the monitors, make sure everything is working all right and well. Also, if you have news articles that you would like to see featured here or something that you find important, leave it in the comments below. I'll research it and possibly see it right here on, again, Blockchain Tech and Finance. All right, cool. Monitor's working well. Let's go right on into the market news for the day and bring up scene for the day. All right, so maximized. We have U.S. Dow Jones Industrial Average down 0.16%, NASDAQ Composite Index down up 0.2%, S&P 500 down 0.21%, Global Dow Real Time down 0.31%, Gold Continuous Contract down 0.67%, crude oil is down 0.28%. So, well, not too bad on the markets. Europe markets, FTSE 100 down 0.95%, DAX 0%, CAC 40 down up 0.28%, FTSE MIB up 0.05%, IBEX 35 down 0.75%, Stock 600 up 0.01%, Swiss Market Index down 0.16%. In Asia markets, we have the Asia Dow up 1.78%, Nikkei 225 up 0.87%, Hang Seng up 2.38%, Shanghai Composite down 0.56%, S&P Sensex up 1.37%, FTSE Straits down 0.21%, S&P 200 benchmark up 0.88%, and Kospi Index is up 0.76%. In the currencies market, here the euro down 0.88%, Japanese yen up 0.22%, British pound down 0.62%, Australia dollar up 0.06%, the USA dollar index is up 0.61%, and WSJ dollar index is up 0.38%. In the cryptocurrency markets, we have Bitcoin down 0.21% at $42,014 per BTC at the time of reading. Ethereum ETH is $2,241.76 per ETH, down 2.45%. In the rates markets, U.S. Treasury note is up 0.019. Government 10-year government bond. Germany 10-year government bond is down 0.098. Italy 10-year government bond is down 0.075. Spain 10-year government bond is down 0.09. UK 10-year gilt down 0.095. Japan 10-year government bond up 0.034%. In the futures market, again, we got crude oil down 0.28%. Gold continuous contract down 0.65%. E-mini Nasdaq 100 index continuous contract is up 0.42%. E-mini Dow continuous contract is down 0.16%. And E-mini S&P 500 futures is down 0.2%. And silver continuous contract is down 1.17%. In the first article for the day, I have here from some blockchain news. So we'll go blockchain news, crypto news, NFT news, some tech, and then finance news, and close out the stream for the day. This is from Reuters, writer reporter. Doesn't say, but in the technology sector, U.S. securities regulator denies Coinbase petition for new crypto rules. The U.S. government, in the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) on Friday denied a petition by the country's largest crypto exchange, Coinbase Global, seeking new rules from the agency for the digital asset sector. The 5-member commission, in a 3-2 vote, said it would not propose new rules because it fundamentally disagrees that current regulations are unworkable for the crypto sphere, as Coinbase has argued. The letter marked news crap. The letter marked the latest in a broader tug of war between the crypto sector and the top U.S. markets regulator, which had repeatedly said most crypto tokens are securities and subject to jurisdiction. The agency has sued several crypto companies, including Coinbase, for listing and trading crypto tokens, which it said should be registered as securities. Existing laws and regulations apply to the crypto securities market, SEC Chair Gary Gensler said in a separate statement supporting the decision. Coinbase disputed the assertion. Now, no one looking fairly at our industry thinks the law is clear or that it isn't. That there isn't more work to do. Chief Legal Officer Paul Grewal said in a statement, adding the firm plans to challenge the SEC's decision. We should be working together to create laws and rules that will benefit consumers and U.S. innovation. In 2022, the company pressed the SEC to create a bespoke set of rules for the crypto sector, arguing that existing U.S. securities laws are inadequate. In April, Coinbase appealed to a judge to force the SEC to respond to the petition. The court said it would not force the agency to act, given the SEC had said it would respond to Coinbase's petition. In his statement, Gensler argued that in asking the SEC to write rules, Coinbase had acknowledged the SEC's authority over the crypto sector, something the crypto exchange has refuted in the past. Republican SEC Commissioners Hester Pierce and Mark Oyeda said in a joint statement that they disagreed with the decision. In our view, the petition raises issues present by new technologies and our other innovations, and addressing these important issues is a core part of being a responsible regulator, they said. This is from reporting by Michelle Price of Washington and Chris Prentice in New York. Additional reporting by Mike Scarcella in Washington. Editing by Shizu Namayama, Paul Simeao, and Diane Kraft. All right, so that was I was kind of trying to find who was in this article here. So yeah, that's that there. U.S. Securities Regulator denies Coinbase petition for new crypto rules. Let's go into some crypto news now. I guess you could say it wasn't really blockchain savvy news, but there's really not much going on in blockchain savvy news other than Solana is making their Solana blockchain is issuing out their phone or something in pre-sales. The cryptos, so DL news, crypto projects venture capitalists are eyeing for 2024. Wow, so it looks like it's been like copied from another platform. That's weird. Okay, weird. But anyways, let's read it. VCs appeared poised to turn the page on a slow year with a fresh wave of investing crypto. Projects utilizing recent advances in technology at the top of the list. Crypto infrastructure is a hot area. It's been a sluggish year for venture crypto investments. Despite the total crypto market capitalization almost doubling since January, VC funding in the sector still lagged behind 2022 levels. This may be about to change as a new year opens with new signs. Venture capitalist firms are poised to start deploying their cash en masse, said Chris Carapola, co-founder of Curvance, a DeFi protocol. Best returns. Carapola told DL News that many of the VCs he spoke with ahead of Curvance's recent $3.6 million fundraising plan to invest aggressively in crypto startups in 2024. They expect the best returns will be found in this time period, he said. At the top of venture capital shopping list, crypto infrastructure. Crypto infrastructure. Investors tend to skew towards infrastructure. Early in the cycle, Carapola said it's easier for venture firms to identify promising infrastructure providers than specific applications such as DeFi protocols, he said. In December, crypto infrastructure providers such as Shadow, Mochaverse, and Pyth Network have each executed substantial fundraising rounds, and Carapola isn't the only one to point out the shift. Infrastructure projects currently receive the lion's share of venture capital deployment due to the straightforward narrative around owning the base layer. Soon we will see users interacting with permissionless smart contract applications through their mobile apps without even knowing it. Melnick said many venture firms prefer a scattershot approach, investing in infrastructure to make sure they gain exposure to as many promising projects as possible, and there are signs the focus on infrastructure will carry over into the new year. Much of the attention throughout 2023 has been on infrastructure and Web3 gaming ideals, and I don't foresee us straying too far from this in 2024. Carl Hua, CTO and investment partner at Shima Capital, told DL News. But infrastructure deals are getting crowded, and it's getting harder for venture firms to get into funding rounds for promising startups, Hua said. The next generation crypto tech within infrastructure investment projects utilizing the latest advancements in cryptography are among the most popular. Gleb Dudka, principal at Greenfield Capital, told DL News that he sees plenty of startups working on staking the same assets across multiple networks to amplify trust and fully homomorphic encryption, which will allow developers to create private smart contracts on top of public permissionless blockchains. Examples of restaking projects that have been already secured funding include Babylon, a project that lets proof-of-stake chains like Ethereum use Bitcoin for staking, and Eigenlayer, a protocol built on Ethereum that lets users restake Ether staked on the Ethereum mainnet. And Phoenix, the first blockchain empowered by fully homomorphic encryption, also successfully raised $7.5 million in September. Perhaps the biggest technological advancements creating a stir in venture capital Circles is a new transaction technique called Intents. Intents let blockchain users hand off transaction creation to a third party without relinquishing full control of the transaction. This will let users generate more efficient and varied kinds of transactions, allow them to pay transaction fees using any asset in their wallet, and there's zero knowledge proofs, ZK rollups and stuff. Gabriel Gareth Fu, DeFi growth lead at Mantle Network, said that advances in Intents as well as account abstraction and zero knowledge proofs will help abstract away much of the complexity involved with interacting with blockchains. Account abstraction will help make transacting with crypto on-chain more similar to using debit cards or payment apps like Venmo by letting apps crypto users interact with handle transaction signing, removing the possibility of human error. Zero knowledge proofs, which has been a VC favorite for a while, are bringing big improvements in scaling and will help crypto users prove their credentials by keeping their data private and secure. Yeah, so as soon as we see users interacting in permissionless smart contract applications to their mobile apps without even knowing it, Fu told DL News, such as prospect is top priority, not just for investment firms, but also for the broader crypto industry. For years, one of the biggest criticisms of using crypto applications has been its complexity and poor user experience, making it difficult to onboard new users. Old favorites, while the current interest is firmly planted in infrastructure, this won't be the case forever, said Carapola. As some of the new narratives begin to play out in the market, I respect we will see more VCs rotate into application layer products, in particular DeFi, he said. DeFi protocols, Carapola said he expects to gain popularity, includes those working on staking and restaking like Egen Layer and yield-bearing stablecoins like Ethna Labs, USDE. And Dudka, on the other hand, said Greenfield is keeping an eye on real-world asset protocols and prediction markets, but the projects looking to raise the path ahead may be more difficult than it has ever been over the past year. According to Dudka, the number of high-quality projects is increasing, which means more competition for the limited supply of venture capitalist cash. So that's that right there. In the crypto projects venture capitalists are eyeing for 2024. In retrospect, let's go into some NFT news here. This is from The Block. For Red Bull Formula Team 1 drops NFTs at the dominant season. This is from RT Watson, writer-reporter for The Block. Formula One racing team Oracle Red Bull is commemorating a strong showing in 2023 with a collection of digital collectibles. The NFTs are minted on Sui and available via Bybit.com. With two drivers atop 2023 Formula One standings, Red Bull's racing team is dropping a collection of digital collectibles to commemorate its dominant year. Drivers Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez ranked number 1 and 1 and 2 this year, respectively, which also made Red Bull the clear leader among all other teams. The team is issuing NFTs to help fans remember the successful year. The launch follows the most successful year in history for Oracle Red Bull Racing, who set records for most championship points in a single season. Red Bull said in a statement, the collectibles will feature unique art designed by automobilists, an award-winning design studio with individuals passionate about creating designs and art around all things motorsport. The NFTs will be available via Bybit.com. Sports lovers have for several decades collected memorabilia in collections that they either treasure or perhaps later sell. In recent years, the push to bring the pastime into digital age has attracted a lot of big-name sports leagues and players within Web3, including NBA Top Shot from Dapper Labs and Candy Digital's Major League Baseball NFTs. And seeing the real value, Red Bull NFTs are being minted on Sui, the blockchain developed by Miston Labs. The Formula One racing team and Miston Labs forged a partnership earlier this year. It is important that we continue to engage and connect with fans around the world in new and innovative ways. Dan Mitchell, senior marketing manager at Oracle Red Bull Racing, said in a statement, "We see real value in using Web3 technology such as NFTs in the form of digital collectibles." That's that there. And Red Bull Formula One team drops NFTs after done. And another piece of NFT news, spinning up over here, is from CryptoNews.com. Hong Kong mobile network provider launches an NFT marketplace. This is from Mohammed, writer-reporter for Crypto News. China Mobile Hong Kong, a leading mobile communication brand in Hong Kong, is launching its own NFT marketplace, Link NFT. It will be Hong Kong's first telecom-operated NFT marketplace. This launch coincides with the breakthrough of their comprehensive smart living mobile application, MyLink, which has acquired over 7 million users. Link NFT will offer NFT minting services for businesses, facilitating digital assets creation, trade, and circulation through various scenarios such as social, DeFi, and GameFi, which will use a trio of cross-chain standards: Web3 Center, cross-chain service protocol, cross-chain adapter, and cross-chain smart contract. For seamless Web3 interoperability, Hong Kong residents can easily access their digital assets, including Ethereum-based ones like OpenSea, through MyLink's exclusive digital wallet link key. China Mobile Hong Kong CMHK has collaborated with various sectors to release over 30 NFTs on Link NFT, including 20 commemorative editions from the MyLink R-Link series, with 15 NFTs associated with publishers and music platforms like Migu Music. The total number of NFT issuance is expected to exceed 500,000. MyLink's metaverse digital space has also been upgraded to a comprehensive 3D immersive experience, allowing Hong Kong citizens to create their digital homes and explore a virtual Hong Kong city with various facilities like shopping malls and exhibition halls. This upgrade enables citizens to convert their meta IDs into NFTs, fostering a unique digital community within the Web3 ecosystem. Mr. Tan Hui, Executive Director of MyLink, says the new venture will allow enterprises to offer novel consumers rights through various NFTs while users enjoy collectibles and circulation value. Yeah, so that's right there. Hong Kong mobile network provider launches NFT marketplace. In Forbes, metaverse news. Fortnite has actually made the metaverse after everyone else quit. This is from Paul Tassi, senior contributor for Forbes. And it's abundantly clear that at this point that the last few years have taken the term metaverse from an aspirational though also dystopian sci-fi concept to a buzzword destroyed by tech companies and grifters trying to build some weird, demented, over monetized version of it. We saw this in big and small ways. A bunch of Web3 blockchain metaverses where companies would buy land and Paris Hilton would hang out with an ugly avatar. These were dismal, empty, gross places that served no purpose except for attempting to make their founders rich by selling air. Then we saw this at a huge scale with Facebook, I mean Meta, where they changed their name to Meta to better personify Mark Zuckerberg's VR-driven vision of the metaverse. And I assume they're still building upon this, but whatever. And while, yes, in fiction, the metaverse is an immersive VR experience that transports the user in person to the virtual space, the tech we have now is not remotely close to that. Zuckerberg spent a fortune on his version of Ready Player One's Oasis Horizon worlds that feature a bunch of horrifying legless. It's just jumped on me. Legless, yeah, legless avatars running around, so to speak, getting out to a few 100,000 players and then promptly losing a few 100,000 players. While the Meta VR arm, well, this one's just being cut through, I'll tell you. While the Meta VR firm still exists, VR itself remains a niche and not anywhere close to the metaverse that was promised. Meta, of course, stop jumping around on me. Meta, of course, is now pivoting mainly to AI like everyone else. I will say this, their VR headset, I have seen, automobilists or mechanics and stuff like that using the VR headset in things like the Oculus and stuff like that while doing mechanic work, while having screens up and digital space around them and utilizing, reading documentation while working on an engine. I will say that much. So that's kind of like IRL metaverse space, metaverse. We could say like metaverse like screens and interfaces in IRL is what makes sense. But slow and steady may win the race, and I believe that's where we're seeing with Fortnite now. Epic CEO Tim Sweeney has been a bit obnoxious with his side of the metaverse fight, where he believes its fundamental existence relies on getting Apple, Google, Steam, and everyone else to get rid of their 30% revenue cut, or else that will strange the metaverse before it can actually exist. But the rest of Epic, they have been building the actual metaverse, or at least the closest we're going to get to it. And unlike Facebook trying to capture the magic of Oasis with VR, Fortnite is doing it with normal gameplay, but creating the virtual spaces and cast of characters that made that universe so appealing in the first place. Something no one else is trying to do this ever really understood. Also, so tomorrow we'll be playing that on Fortnite Family Friday. Tomorrow in Fortnite, we saw where we're actually utilizing that. We saw glimpses for de-stressing. We saw glimpses of this for years with large-scale mass watch events like meteor strikes or rocket launches on the Fortnite map when Travis Scott at Ariana Grande concerts. Those were the first inklings of metaverse moments that made it feel like Fortnite was on the right track, but for a while it felt like that came and went, and Fortnite had missed its chance, stuck in the same rut with over with its wider ambitions stalled. Instead, behind the scenes, they were prepping a large-scale launch that would make Fortnite more metaverse-y than ever. After refueling Fortnite's player count with the return to the OG map, they ended that period by launching LEGO Fortnite, a survival minigame in its own separate world. Racing Fortnite channeling Rocket League in concert, Fortnite which draws on Guitar Hero and Rock Band DNA. So in effect, the game now has Battle World, Fortnite Battle Royale, Survival Building World, Racing World, and Music World. This is a long-term vision as shared by Donald Mustard that is finally becoming real, and what the fictional metaverse has channeled before now. So there's their tweet there, Fortnite, PvP, PvE, Creative Hub, music, survival. These are always jokes that Fortnite is building a little zoo of IPs for its game, as if there's a popular movie, game, or TV franchise you can think of, there's probably an 80% chance Fortnite has grabbed it and made a handful of skins out of it. This is a game now that has closely to every major superhero in it. Ripley from Alien, Kratos in God of War, Master Chief from Halo, Chun-Li from Street Fighter, and now Goku, Peter Griffin, the Incredible Hulk, and Optimus Prime can rock out in concert together. And it's working. Fortnite, especially after the launch of LEGO Fortnite, which is siphoning all off Minecraft players, is hitting new concurrent player count records. There are more people playing Fortnite right now than every game on Steam combined. It has once again climbed to be one of the biggest games in the world, if not the biggest outside of whatever big mobile title people are checking into a few times a day. I always said that if anywhere had the potential to truly become the metaverse, it was Fortnite. These blockchain imitators also killed the concept before they died themselves. Facebook making the metaverse was essentially channeling the villains from Ready Player One, trying to do the same, but after a few years of relative quiet, Epic has come out and shown, yeah, maybe they can actually do it. Now that the Enverse, everyone has abandoned the concept, and I hope everyone and I hope they can. Fortnite has actually made the metaverse after everyone else quit. Article. So, from the tech sector, video games disrupt sleep more than television and teams. We have this article and one more in finance, and we're going to close out the stream for the day. New research has shown that interactive engagement with screens like video games disrupts sleep more than passive screen time. While screen time is generally known to affect sleep, new research suggests that interactive engagement such as texting friends or playing video games delays and reduces the time spent asleep to a greater extent than passive screen time, like watching television, especially for teens. The research, while published today in the Journalism of Adolescent Health, demonstrates that adolescents at age 15 who use screens to communicate with friends or play video games in the hour before bed took 30 minutes longer to fall asleep than if they refrained from interactive screen time. But it wasn't just interactive screen time before bed that affected kids' sleep. Researchers said for each hour during the day that kids spent playing video games beyond their usual amount, their sleep was delayed by about 10 minutes. If teens typically play video games for an hour each day, but one day a new game comes out and they play for 4 hours, that 3 traditional hours more than they typically play, said David Reichenberger, doctoral scholar at Penn State and lead author of the study. So that means they could have 15 minutes of delayed sleep timing that night. For a child, losing 15 minutes of sleep at night is significant. It's especially difficult when they have to get up in the morning for school. If they're delayed their sleep, they can't make up for it in the morning. Without adequate sleep, kids are increased risk of obesity as well as impaired cognition, emotional regulation, and mental health. The team assessed the daytime screen-based activities of 475 adolescents using daily surveys of three or more days. They asked the teens how many hours they spent that day communicating with friends by email, instant messaging, texting on the phone, or through social media sites. They also asked the kids how many hours they spent playing video games, surfing the internet, and watching television for videos. Finally, the researchers asked if adolescents had participated in any of these activities in the hour before bed. Next, the team used accelerometers to measure the adolescent's sleep duration for 1 week. Reichenberger explained that the devices, especially worn out on the wrist, measures a person's movement. When a participant is at least active, can infer that they are likely asleep. Reichenberger said it's more accurate than asking them how many hours they slept. The researchers found that teens spent on average 2 hours per day communicating with friends via email, instant messaging, texting on the phone, or through social media. They spent slightly less time, about 1.3 hours a day, playing video games, less than an hour per day surfing the internet, and about 1.7 hours per day watching television or videos. In the hour before the bed, the children communicated or played video games via phone, computer, or tablet 77% of the time, and watched television or movies 69% of the time. Overall, adolescents slept for an average of 7.8 hours per night. For every hour throughout the day that they used screens to communicate with friends, they fell asleep about 11 minutes later. That on average, for every hour that they used screens to play video games, they fell asleep about 9 minutes later. Those who talked, texted, or played games on a device in the hour before bed lost the most sleep. Their sleep onset was about 30 minutes or later. So interesting, Reichenberger said the team found no significant association between passive screen-based activities and subsequent sleep, like browsing the internet and watching television, videos, and movies. It could be that these more passive activities are less mentally stimulating than interactive activities like texting and video game playing, said Anne Mary Chang, Associate Professor, Biobehavioral Health and Study co-author. What can parents do to help protect their team's sleep? It's a tricky situation, Chang said. These tools are really important to everyone nowadays, so it's hard to put a limit on them. But if you're really looking out for an adolescent health and well-being, then you might consider limiting the more interactive activities, especially in the hour before bed. All right, so that's this. Video games disrupt sleep more than television in teens. Closing out the stream in finance. Stock market news today. The stock's muted, but head toward a winning week. From Karen Friar, editor for Yahoo Finance, stocks moved into positive territory Friday with the Dow pulling just over the flat line as the prospect of deeper and earlier interest rate cuts continued to buoy Wall Street spirits. The Dow Jones Industrial Average (DJI) ticked up 0.1% or about 30 points after the blue chip index closed at fresh all-time high Thursday. The S&P 500 GSBC was virtually unchanged, while the tech-heavy Nasdaq Composite IXIC gained 0.2%. Markets rejoiced after the Federal Reserve's surprise shift in tone to dovish this week, as it signaled more rate cuts in 2024. Acknowledged an anti-inflation campaign is gaining traction. That helped drive a record-settling rally in U.S. stocks, and the major indexes have posted six winning sessions in a row. But the ebullient mood may start to fade, as some observers caution that markets could be getting ahead of themselves. New York Fed President John Williams told CNBC in an interview Friday that talk of rate cuts is premature, and in contrast to the Fed's recent signaling, central banks in Europe discouraged hopes for an erasing of policy. Meanwhile, some $5 trillion in U.S. stock options are set to expire on Friday, 80% in the S&P 500 linked contracts. The largest such expiration in at least 20 years could keep a lid on any pullback, some analysts believe. Elsewhere, oil ticked higher on track for its first weekly win since October. So as I was reading in the market rates on oil, on the futures, and boosted by a Fed-fueled fall in the dollar. West Texas Intermediate futures traded at almost $72 a barrel, while Brent crude futures changed hands at about $77 a barrel after rising more than 4% in the previous two sessions. So yeah, oil snapped 7 weeks losing streak. What comes after retail faces organized crime claim, a centralization of visuals of young people looting stores brought to life one of the biggest business stories of the year, the rise of retail crime. So against Target, Home Depot, and Dick's Sporting Goods. And the sudden rise of AI is one of the biggest stories this year, from NVIDIA and Google and Microsoft. OpenAI, Silicon Valley couldn't get enough of generative AI, reports Yahoo Finance's Daniel Howley. Corporate earnings were filled with mentions of AI. CEOs like Amazon, Meta, and Intel, and AMD. All these CEOs touted the company's AI capabilities, and the public seemingly couldn't get enough. After OpenAI released ChatGPT, the chatbot reached 100 million monthly users in just about 2 months. And obviously, we got Google now with Gemini. Here are some of the highlights, the biggest stories of 2023, and so you can read that. You don't do diligence. And we got some stocks trending in afternoon trading with Costco, CrowdStrike, JD.com. Stocks a little changing in the afternoon. We got Dow and S&P climbed over the flat line optimism over deeper and earlier interest rates. Netflix licensed content complicates the streaming wars. You can read through that. Crude oil dips after so this is all kind of like basically what's going on today. Rate cut talk is premature. Manhattan rent drops for the first time in more than 2 years. Stocks open mixed but slated for winning week. Manufacturing highlights sparse schedule. So you can read through these. You can do due diligence on the article links below that I have in this video here. So stock market news today. Stocks muted but heading for a winning streak. So that's all I have on the news today. Again, if you're on the YouTube side, please do subscribe, turn on the bell notifications right here to Blockchain Tech and Finance. All these articles in the description box below. Let me know your comments as well of what news you found important, what you think about these articles, and include what you think is important to report on here, and I'll go ahead and include it. But for now, cheers, ciao, peace be with you. Stay safe. Have a great and safe day and holiday season if you celebrate, and I'll see you back tomorrow.